It was autumn on the island of Sodor. This was the time of year when the little engines cleared their railway of branches, rocks and mudslides in preparation for the holiday season. Peter Sam was especially busy building a cattle creep. This was a bridge that would allow tractors and livestock to pass under the rails. It had been necessary to build because those same forestry tractors and sheep regularly covered the rails with thick mud. So every time an engine travelled on this stretch, they had to stop while the firemen cleared away the mess. This, of course, made them very late, an inconvenience that their manager and the Fat Controller would not tolerate.
What is the point of a timetable when you are always late?
The Fat Controller said to them sternly. But when Peter Sam explained the problem, he immediately commissioned the cattle creep to be built. The rails were on a slope. This made work difficult. Rusty helped Peter Sam, but most of the time she was used as a brake van to anchor trucks rather than pulling them on her own. At the top of the hill, near the cattle creep, was a renowned watering place. The engines often stopped there to take on water after the long climb. One day, after doing some very hard work, Peter Sam's water tank was almost empty. His driver took him and his empty trucks to the watering place, while Rusty went off to work down the line.
We may as well have our lunch break here,
Peter Sam's driver said to the fireman. Peter Sam felt much better after getting refilled with water, and he dozed as his crew had their lunch. His trucks, however, were growing restless.
Let's break away and have some fun,
they said to each other. And they did. Because of the incline where Peter Sam had stopped, his back coupling was riding low. With hardly any effort at all, the first truck broke away, quite silently too. But they didn't fool Peter Sam. He noticed immediately that something was wrong.
The trucks!
He peeped, but there was nothing anyone could do. The trucks sped down the line. Faster and faster they went, but they'd forgotten completely what lay ahead.
Faster, faster!
The silly trucks yelled. Then they saw a sign which made them shiver. Slow, steep bend and ravine ahead.
Oh no!
They cried and closed their eyes. Without Peter Sam and Rusty, there was no way for them to stop, and they knew it. Over the edge of the viaduct they went, and down into the ravine they fell. A little later, Peter Sam and his crew arrived to survey the wreckage.
Not one useful truck left. There they are, and there they'll stay, forever,
said his driver.
Come on, Peter Sam. We'll just have to take our medicine and explain to the manager why we didn't wedge up the trucks. Brace yourself, I'm afraid we're in for it.
That evening, the Fat Controller arrived with a message that was short and blunt.
You will work in the yard shunting trucks until I can trust you again.
Duncan was delighted.
Fancy not securing your trucks on a hill. They'll come back to spook you and your special funnel. Woo!
Duke spoke kindly to Peter Sam.
Don't mind him, Peter Sam. Trucks are always falling down ravines. They've been doing it for as long as I can remember. And that is a very long time ago. So long ago that drivers and firemen lived in caves and dressed in animal skins. You may laugh, but at least it wasn't an engine that filled the viaduct this time. Pah! Absolute rot! It's true. Oh, please tell us about it,
Skarloey urged, and the others agreed. So Duke began his tale.
A long time ago, the manager decided to build a new viaduct. A great many strange things occurred whilst they built it. The gorge it crosses is deep and mysterious. At night, the mists make strange shapes and the wind sounds like ghostly voices. At the bottom of the gorge, there's a swamp. Now this swamp claimed many a truck, but worse still, there's a little engine that was also lost in the swamp. It was coming home from the quarry with a load of trucks. It was a misty, moonlit night. The driver never saw what lay ahead until it was too late. The little engine plunged over the viaduct's edge. He and his trucks were lost forever. Though sometimes when the moon is full and the mists are just rising, That little engine makes his journey across the viaduct, but he never makes it to the other side.
Duke impressively concluded.
Well, if I was you, Duke, I'd stay in the sheds and never come out. Ghosts, viaduct, pah, stuffing nonsense.
Duncan exclaimed angrily, and he puffed away to his shed. The next day, as Peter Sam was shunting in the yards, Henry stopped by the water tower. The two got on well together, so Peter Sam told Henry about Duke's story. Henry smiled.
You should always be wary of ghosts,
he said wisely. Just then, Duncan puffed by.
Woo! Look out, Peter Sam! There's a ghost in your smoke box!
And off he went, chortling to himself. Peter Sam was most upset.
Never mind him, Peter Sam. It's those who doubt that get spooked the most,
said Henry, and he puffed away. That gave Peter Sam's driver an idea.
We'll fix that, Duncan,
he said slyly, and explained his plan. Then he spoke secretly to Duncan's driver, who agreed.
We'll do it tonight.
That afternoon, Duncan had to take coal trucks to the slate mines and then bring slate trucks back. It was a long haul. Duncan's driver decided that as part of the plan to cross the old haunted viaduct. When they did, Duncan smiled.
Haunted viaduct! Ha! It's as tame as driver's pet rabbit!
All the same, he kept thinking about Duke's story. When dusk fell, he was keen to leave.
If we don't go now, Scalloy will take my favourite place in the sheds.
His driver laughed.
We can't leave until we've got a full load of trucks.
And he winked secretly to the firemen. They could tell their plan was working, because Duncan was nervous. The moon was full in the night sky when they set off. The mists at the foot of the viaduct were beginning to rise, and the ghostly breezes began to make their strange sounds. Duncan's driver and firemen knew that at this time of year, fireflies often gathered on the viaduct. They were attracted to a certain type of tree, a branch of which an old miner, who was in on the plot with Duncan's driver, had placed at the far end of the viaduct. Duncan bravely whistled as he neared the viaduct, and the sound echoed around the gorge. It took its time, though, and as Duncan approached the viaduct, he heard his own whistle, but didn't really recognize it. Then he saw at the far end of the viaduct, through the swirling mists, a ghostly apparition, which to Duncan looked for all the world like another engine. Halfway across the viaduct, he stopped, his face ashen white with fear.
It's the Duke's ghost! Look!
Both his driver and fireman looked, but the fireflies had vanished. They had been disturbed by Duncan's driver tossing a large rock into the swamps below. That was enough for Duncan.
Take me back, please! Please take me back, please take me back, take me back!
He shrieked, went into full reverse, and wouldn't stop until he reached the mine. When he reached the safety of his shed, he closed his eyes tightly.
Spooked, are you, Duncan? No!
Wailed Duncan.
I'm asleep.
And he refused to open his eyes. He did, though, when he thought his driver wasn't looking, just to make sure that he was still there.